Lithium readily enters cells throughout the body and takes part in cellular metabolism and other basic biological processes. Lithium's ability to fully alleviate the symptoms of a devastating condition makes it one of the best treatments in medicine. As again and again I saw the relief that lithium brought to my patients, I grew increasingly interested in how it worked, and, in particular, how its remarkable effects were discovered. Over the years, I gathered scattered bits of information, and each successive piece of the puzzle raised more questions. The original paper describing lithium's beneficial effects in manic patients, written by an Australian psychiatrist named John Cade, came out in 1949, but the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, did not approve lithium for use until 1970. Why the 20-year hiatus? There was a general sense in the psychiatric community that lithium's discovery was a lucky accident. But was that true, or was a more systematic process at play? Most of all, I wanted to find out how an unknown Australian psychiatrist named John Cade managed to accomplish something so profound. Who was this man, and what were the circumstances that brought him to a groundbreaking moment? I went in search of the story of John Cade and his remarkable discovery. A crucial experiment on guinea pigs prompted him to take lithium himself, and eventually he tested it in manic patients. Cade's life brought him to the point where, equipped with neither research training nor research funding, working from a makeshift laboratory in an unused kitchen on the grounds of a small, isolated mental asylum, he set out to find the cause of and cure for manic-depressive illness. In Cade's day, the first half of the 20th century, most doctors believed that people with a chronic severe mental illness had a disease that was largely hereditary and that involved a brain abnormality. Other than electroshock for depression, there were no effective treatments. The customary therapy for these patients was to confine them in asylums indefinitely or until the condition spontaneously improved. Drugs with stimulating or sedating properties, amphetamines, opiates, and bromides among them, were administered with little benefit and no effect on the characteristic symptoms of the illness. The idea that a drug alone could alleviate the symptoms of manic depression seemed far-fetched in the extreme. Although psychopharmacology is now an indispensable feature of contemporary life, John Cade's lithium discovery represented a radical departure from the prevailing ideas about the treatment of mental illness. It was the first demonstration that a drug can alleviate the fundamental symptoms of a mental illness. As such, Cade's discovery launched psychiatry's pharmacological revolution, the use of drugs to treat the mentally ill. Within a decade, antipsychotic and antidepressant drugs, such as chlorpromazine and imipramine, were identified. These types of drugs, along with lithium, continue to be the mainstays of psychiatric treatment, and they have not been appreciably improved upon. Lithium, however, differs in an important way from the psychiatric drugs that came in its wake. The other drugs are non-specific. They alleviate a broad range of symptoms in several disorders. For example, so-called antidepressants like the infamous fluoxetine, Prozac, provide at least as much relief from anxiety as they do from depression, and the antipsychotic drugs like olanzapine, Zyprexa, and risperidone, Risperidol, so vital to the treatment of schizophrenia, are also widely used to treat the agitation and hallucinations associated with dementia, and are useful as well in treating depression and anxiety. Lithium, on the other hand, is uniquely specific. It is effective only on manic-depressive illness. Following up on Cade's discovery, other researchers found that lithium not only alleviates mania, but actually prevents future episodes of mania and depression. Now a standard treatment for bipolar disorder, lithium enables most people with this formerly devastating condition to lead normal lives. Because of lithium and a few drugs that have come in its wake, those who suffer from bipolar disorder are no longer periodically hospitalized in the throes of manic excitement or melancholic despair. Cade's breakthrough has prevented millions of suicides and salvaged an untold number of lives. It has also saved the world economy hundreds of billions of dollars in hospitalization costs. By 1994, 20 years after it was approved by the FDA to treat manic depressive illness,